Most people believe their diet fails because they are lazy, weak, or lack discipline. But the truth is far deeper and connected to how the human body was designed to survive for thousands of years. Every year, millions of people begin strict diets hoping to transform their lives, cutting calories, avoiding favorite foods, and forcing themselves through exhausting routines. And at first the results seem exciting because the scale drops quickly and motivation rises. But slowly the body begins fighting back through hunger, cravings, exhaustion, stress, and emotional instability. Because the human body is not a machine built for modern fitness culture. It is a survival system programmed to protect itself from starvation. When people suddenly eat too little, metabolism adapts by slowing down energy usage. Hunger hormones increase, recovery becomes weaker, sleep quality declines, and the brain becomes obsessed with food, making many people eventually binge eat and regain the weight they lost. Not because they are failures, but because biology is stronger than temporary motivation. Modern life makes this even harder because stress, poor sleep, emotional pressure, screen addiction, processed foods, and sedentary lifestyles constantly damage the body's natural balance. While ultra-processed foods rich in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats overstimulate the brain's reward system, creating emotional eating habits that many mistake for lack of self-control. At the same time, social media creates unrealistic body expectations that make people hate their own progress, comparing themselves to edited images, perfect lighting, and genetically gifted influencers, causing frustration and hopelessness that destroy consistency. Many people also misunderstand fitness itself, believing fat loss happens through suffering, endless cardio, or starvation, while real transformation actually comes from sustainable habits, balanced nutrition, proper sleep, stress management, hydration, strength training, and recovery, because muscles grow during rest, hormones stabilize during sleep, and the body changes slowly through repeated behaviors over months and years. The truth is that one unhealthy meal does not destroy health, just like one workout does not create fitness, because the body reflects long-term patterns rather than isolated moments. And this is why discipline matters more than motivation, since motivation is emotional and temporary, while habits become automatic, systems that shape identity. A person who learns to walk daily, sleep earlier, eat balanced meals, reduce processed food gradually, and train consistently without extreme pressure often experiences deeper and more lasting transformation than someone chasing quick fixes or crash diets, because sustainable health is not about punishing the body but working with it intelligently. Emotional health also plays a massive role, because many people eat not from physical hunger, but from stress, loneliness, anxiety, boredom, or emotional exhaustion, using food as temporary relief, while the nervous system silently becomes overwhelmed. True fitness, therefore, becomes more than appearance, because it involves psychology, hormones, recovery, discipline, movement, environment, and self-respect working together as one system. Healthy people are not always more motivated than others. They often simply build environments that make good choices easier by preparing meals, sleeping on time, staying active, reducing distractions, and creating routines that support consistency instead of relying on willpower alone. Over time, these small repeated actions slowly change identity itself, causing people to stop seeing exercise as punishment and begin seeing health as self-respect. And this mental shift becomes one of the most powerful transformations of all, because real fitness is not about becoming perfect overnight, but becoming slightly better every day for years. The human body is incredibly adaptive and resilient, capable of healing, strengthening, and improving even after years of unhealthy habits if given proper care, patience, and consistency, which means change is always possible for those willing to respect the process instead of searching for shortcuts. In the end, the greatest misunderstanding of modern diet culture is that it teaches people to fight their bodies instead of understanding them, when in reality, the body is always trying to protect and adapt for survival. And once a person realizes that true transformation is built through patience, discipline, recovery, balanced nutrition, emotional awareness, and sustainable habits rather than extremes, they stop asking how fast they can change and begin asking how they can build a healthy life their body can maintain for decades. And that is the moment real and lasting transformation finally begins. For years, people have been told that losing weight is simple, that all they need is more motivation, stricter diets, and harder workouts. Yet millions continue struggling with the same cycle of temporary success, followed by exhaustion, frustration, and failure, because the real problem is not laziness, but a deep misunderstanding of how the human body actually works. The human body was designed thousands of years ago for survival in harsh environments where food was scarce and starvation was dangerous. So whenever calories suddenly become too low, the brain and body react defensively by slowing metabolism, increasing hunger hormones, lowering energy levels, and creating powerful cravings in order to keep the person alive, which means many extreme diets unknowingly trigger ancient survival mechanisms that make long-term success difficult. In modern society, this problem becomes even worse because people live surrounded by stress, processed foods, emotional pressure, lack of movement, poor sleep, and constant digital distraction, all of which damage hormonal balance and decision-making without most people realizing it. Someone may spend hours exercising while sleeping only a few hours each night, not understanding that poor sleep increases hunger hormones and weakens recovery, causing the body to crave high-calorie foods for quick energy. Another person may skip meals believing starvation will accelerate fat loss, only to experience uncontrollable binge eating later, because the brain becomes biologically focused on survival. Meanwhile, social media constantly shows unrealistic transformations, edited bodies, and fake perfection that make ordinary progress feel meaningless, pushing people toward dangerous quick fixes instead of sustainable habits. Many begin to associate fitness with punishment, suffering, and self-hatred rather than self-respect and long-term care, which destroys consistency because humans cannot maintain lifestyles built entirely on pain and restriction. Real transformation happens differently. It happens quietly through small, repeated behaviors like sleeping earlier, walking daily, eating balanced meals, drinking more water, training consistently, managing stress, and allowing proper recovery. Because muscles grow during rest, hormones stabilize through healthy routines, and fat loss occurs gradually when the body consistently uses stored energy over time. One workout does not change a life, just as one unhealthy meal does not ruin it, because health is built through patterns repeated across months and years, not isolated moments. The people who succeed are often not the most motivated, but the most consistent, building environments that make healthy choices easier, instead of depending on willpower alone. Emotional health matters deeply too, because many people eat to escape stress, loneliness, anxiety, boredom, or emotional pain, meaning their struggle is not only physical, but psychological. And understanding this changes everything, because true wellness involves the mind, nervous system, hormones, habits, and environment working together. Over time, these small, disciplined actions slowly transform identity itself until a person no longer exercises to punish their body but to strengthen it, no longer eats healthy out of fear but out of respect, and no longer chases impossible perfection but sustainable progress. The greatest truth most people never hear is that the body is not the enemy. It is constantly adapting and trying to protect survival. And once someone stops fighting biology and starts working with it through patience, consistency, recovery, balanced nutrition, and intelligent habits, real transformation finally becomes possible, not for a few weeks, but for an entire lifetime.